There's 104 days of summer vacation, and school comes along just to end it. So the annual problem for our generation is finding a good way to spend it.
See Piper first. He's close.
Can you all hear me without the mic? Yeah. I'm home! I'm home! I can't tell you how thrilled I am to be here. A place where I can use words like gum band, Jaggerbush, and people know what I'm talking about. And I love the fact that I can say Washington. Yeah, well, they laughed at me in my classroom every time people in Rochester, New York, talk funny. And some of my accent I've never been able to get rid of. Well, I'm so happy to be here and see so many of you for the first time in 50 years. Today I walked through Knox and saw the old original oak. On the second floor, our old blackboards are still there. And to some of you, don't worry, I'm not now going to disassemble the carburetor. Which I've been reminded of by 3 different people during show and tell at Knox. Going off to junior high school, Mr. Coatsworth was my homeroom teacher. In 7th grade and 8th grade was Mr. Williams, music teacher. In 9th grade, Mrs. Flanagan. And then we all moved up to that new building where Principal Don Cornell said, well, you've been big fish in a little sea, and now you're going to be little fish in a big sea. And I can't imagine any one of us ever consider ourselves to be fish to begin with. And my homeroom teacher in 10th grade was Mr. Webb. Starting his career, me being in the homeroom, and some of you were too, that means we were in the very first group of students to walk into his room for his career. And I look back now and realize, you were a kid. You were like 22 or 23 years old. Yeah. In 11th grade, I had for homeroom Mr. Coopens. And 12th grade, homeroom 125, Mr. Watkins. During my career, my favorite teacher was, of course, my father. 9th grade, Mr. Pennsylvania. But as far as teachers that I wasn't related to, Mr. Art Cairns. And a course called College Composition, where he opened up a world to me of poetry and great literature that I never even knew was in there. And I wish and so regret that I never wrote him a letter thanking him. But I never did. However, my least favorite teacher, I never had one. I love school. But there was one teacher in particular that I was scared to death of. And I'll tell you, I'm a retired teacher. I taught for 37 years in Rochester, New York, high school. And I was fortunate to have the booming voice. And as a result, I had very good discipline. And some teachers that didn't would say to me, yeah, well, you're a man and you're big. Okay, I'm a man. 6'4", 210. Guess that's big. Yeah, after high school in the next 5 years, I grew 2 more inches and gained about 40 pounds. And I used to say to them, contraire. Because the teacher I had discipline beyond anything I had ever seen was a little old lady by the name of Mrs. D. Antonio. And of course I say a little old lady, and I now realize she was probably in her 30s. She would throw an eraser at your head if you weren't paying attention. And of course, now if this was a young group in our world of Promethean boards and whiteboards, I now have to stop and explain what an eraser was. But because of her, I'll bet I could sit down right now and diagram a sentence. I'm not sure why I want to, but I'll bet I could. And I learned this summer from my cousin, a person that many of you remember, Eleanor Craig, now Eleanor Craig Curry. She was 1 year behind us, and she told me that Mrs. D'Antonio died about 5 years ago. So, here's something I've carried for 56 years. And Mrs. D'Antonio, this is for you. BM is our buzzword is. Had, should, would, could. Shall, will, may, must, might, and routine does. Mrs. D'Antonio, I hope you're proud of me and all of us, because I sure as heck am proud to be a graduate of CCHS. Oh, I know it's changed its name, but that's where we graduated from. And I may have dropped the ball with Mr. Cairns, but I'm not going to drop the ball tonight with the 4 former teachers that we have here with us. I am so proud to have had you as teachers, and I am proud of your excellence and your dedication. And we all owe you a debt of thanks for making such a positive difference in our lives. Thank you so much.